Fernape here. Now, I've actually did think of a different video for this week, but I actually recently made a friend who says he wants to get into anime, but doesn't know where to start. So that's why I thought of this video. I have actually decided to name all of my anime recommendations for beginner anime watchers. I have done videos like this in the past, it's just, well, they never really did as good. But since I'm a little bit bigger now, I thought maybe this would actually help people try to get into anime a bit more. So that's why I thought, why not make a list based off every single anime that you would recommend someone for beginners. Now, I do have a separate list for veterans as well. So if you are a veteran anime watcher, be sure to check that out when I upload it. But if you guys also want to watch the veterans anime list, also keep an eye out for that as well, because I'm thinking about maybe bringing it out next week or maybe the week after. I have separated each anime into their own respected genre. So there's only going to be one anime per genre. So if you like a certain genre, there'll be a list of each genre in the description of this video. So if you want to check them out, I also put them in order. I might leave some timestamps in there as well, so if you guys want to figure out which genre you prefer, go to the description and check it out for yourself. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you thought these recommendations were helpful, which recommendation you actually found the best, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, the first genre we're going to be starting with is action. These are the sort of animes that you would want to watch if you really like fighting, hand-to-hand combat, that sort of thing. Also, just mainly all about fighting. The anime that I would recommend to you guys is actually my favorite anime of all time. That being the Naruto franchise. For those who do not know what Naruto is all about, I'm going to let a past video that I did explain everything that you need to know about Naruto. So, past me, take it away. The story starts out with a young boy named Naruto Uzumaki, a knucklehead who wants us to be respected by everyone in the village, because everyone always kept their distance from him, and he had no idea why. Later he discovered that a dangerous force was sealed inside of him at birth, that almost destroyed the village that he lived in. After this, he tries to become the leader of the village, so he could finally get the respect that he longs for. So as you can see, Naruto is definitely a great anime for someone to watch if they are really into action. Plus, Naruto just has everything that an anime watcher would need. So if you really like action and want to watch an anime that is all around really, really good, I would highly recommend watching Naruto. Yes, it's long, but it's worth it. Okay, the next anime I'm going to recommend to you guys, well, is from the genre adventure. This is the sort of anime that go on all sorts of different adventures, go to different places, see new places, you get it. And funny enough, the anime that I'm going to recommend you guys actually has adventure in the title. That being JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The reason I recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is because it does portray really, really well. I really like the story. It portrays in a way that no anime that I've actually seen portray, and they also have really, really good fight scenes. Plus, the animation is actually really, really clever because it's actually based on, well, slightly based on 80s animation style fused with current animation style. And I actually really, really like that aspect. Alright, the next genre I'm going to recommend for you guys is comedy. These are the sort of anime that you love to watch to get a good laugh. And when it comes to comedy, there's only one anime that comes to mind for beginners when it comes to comedy. That being One Punch Man. One Punch Man is basically about this guy called Saitama who wanted to be a hero just for fun. And then he decided to work out until basically his body gave out. He did a very rigorous training regimen, even though it's not really that impressive in real life. Like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats in a 10k run. But he does become the strongest human of all, and he can basically take out anything in a single punch without even trying. And I just really like this anime because it's very comedic, and it's just all great parts all around. Okay, for the next genre, it's going to be drama. And there's only one anime that I can think of that sums up in this category. My drama anime recommendation for you guys would be Bleach. The reason I chose Bleach is because it is just an amazing anime. I'm pretty sure it's the least popular out of the big three, but it's still really, really good. Like, Bleach has a brilliant story, it's got lots of sword fighting, drama, really great characters, a great story, and it's just an overall great anime. I don't get why you guys sleep on it. Plus, not to mention, I hear that the new season of Bleach is actually going to be coming out next year, I believe. But if you guys really want to watch Bleach, I would highly recommend doing it soon, so that way you're all caught up when the new series come out. Okay, the next genre I'm going to be recommending for you guys is fantasy. And when it comes to fantasy, there's only one anime that comes to mind, even though I haven't seen it yet. But David, also known as Dr Amnesia, link in the description below, helped me with this list, so I kinda had to use this because I couldn't really think of any anime for beginners when it came to this. So, the beginner fantasy anime that I would recommend for you guys is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now, while I haven't seen That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, I have heard really, really good reviews about this show. It's basically about this guy who died, but then got reincarnated as a slime who can shapeshift. And I heard really, really good things about this anime. It is fairly shorter than most anime, but it is really, really good. I think it's been nominated for quite a few anime awards. And I definitely would recommend you give it a watch. I just haven't gotten around to watching it because I'm currently watching 2 anime simultaneously. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend you guys giving That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime a watch if you're interested in fantasy anime. The next genre is magic. These are the sort of anime that are really like magic, witchcraft, wizardry, kind of like Harry Potter. Speaking of Harry Potter, I'm basically going to be talking about an anime that's literally an animated version of Harry Potter. But the story is done a little bit differently. So, say hello to what I would recommend for Magic, Black Clover. I had only just started rewatching Black Clover again because I haven't finished it. But I am determined to finish it. And so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a great anime, really good animation, a great story. Some people say that it's a basic-ass show, but I personally really, really like it. So, if you're really into magic, and also really good story, and also really good fight scenes, Black Clover is the show for you. Alright, the next anime we're going to be talking about is Supernatural. And as I'm sure you can tell by the title, it's about anime that aren't normally natural in the real world. And now, the anime that I'm going to be recommending for you guys that is supernatural is the 7 Deadly Sins. The reason I would recommend 7 Deadly Sins is because it is just a really good anime. Yes, it has had one very, very bad season. But just because an anime has had one bad season doesn't mean the entire show is terrible. I think overall the show is really, really good. Really good fight scenes, really good characters. And it's just a great anime in general. You guys really need to check it out. The next anime recommendation genre is horror. These are the sort of animes that people like if they like a bit of blood, gore, that sort of thing. And I think I've come up with a really good suggestion for horror genre anime. That being Attack on Titan. I will admit I am not the biggest fan of the new animation style for the newest season of Attack on Titan, but it is still a really, really good show. Like, I thoroughly enjoy watching Attack on Titan. It's got great fight scenes, good animation, a great plot, great story, and it's just an amazing show. I mean, yes, it can be a bit gory. It's basically about this world where giants exist and go around eating people not for a food source but for pleasure. And basically the whole plot of it is to kill every single old titan there is. Still, it's a really, really good show. The next genre we're going to be talking about is mystery. Now, mystery, well, is mysterious. Like, if you're really into mysterious anime, this is for you. So, I would recommend an anime that, yet again, I have not seen, but I have been wanting to get around to watching. That being Black Butler. From what I've seen, or from what I've heard, it's basically about this butler who belongs to a wealthy family, who's really good at martial arts, and I think is really good at assassinating. Not too sure on that last part, but I have heard it is a really, really good show. So if you're really into mysterious shows, I would highly recommend watching Black Butler. The next anime, a genre we're going to be talking about, is thriller. And when it comes to thriller, there's only one really good anime recommendation for beginners. Like, it's just a legendary show overall. That being Death Note. For those who have been living under a rock, Death Note is an anime that basically is about a notebook that has the power to kill people. And it falls into the hands of a high schooler called Light Yagami, who basically is disgusted of the world and wants to remake the world and be the god of that world. It is a really good show, and I definitely would recommend for those who really like intellectual anime rather than all about fighting and stuff like that. I mean, they do fight, but not hand-to-hand fight. They fight with their minds. So if you're into those sort of anime, give Death Note a watch. The next genre we're going to be talking about is psychological. Now, truth be told, I've only seen the first season of this anime, and I have not completed it, but from what I've seen, it's still a really, really good show. So, the anime that I would recommend for you guys is Code Geass. Code Geass is basically about a show where basically the UK has taken over Japan and they're no longer called Japanese. And basically, it's all about these giant war robots. And I believe the Britannians are trying to exterminate the Japanese, I think. To be honest with you, it's been a while since I've seen the show, and I can't quite remember it fully. But basically, this guy called Lelouch gains the power of the Geass. And what happens is that when he looks someone in the eye and activates the Geass, he can make anybody do anything one time. And I really, really like the sound of that power, and it's just a really good show overall. The animation is definitely better from its time period. So I think you guys should go check it out. It's a good show. Alright, the next anime we're going to be talking about is romance. Now, I did not think that this anime that I'm going to recommend to you was classed as a romance anime. I cannot lie to you. But I'm going to recommend it to you guys anyway because it's still a really good show. So, I would recommend you guys check out Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is all about this game called, well, Sword Art Online, where basically the creator traps as many people as he could inside the game. The purpose of the game is to beat all 100 floors of a floating castle to get out of the game. But if your HP bar hits 0, you die in real life too. And if anybody tries to wake you up or unplug you from the game, then you die as well. So, as you can see, it doesn't sound romantic, but there is quite a few romance stuff in the anime. So, I would highly recommend checking it out, even though the romance it has is very, very few. Alright, the next genre we're going to be talking about is science fiction, aka sci-fi. Now, this anime, I cannot fully remember about. I can't lie, but I'll try my best to remember as much as I can about the show. I would recommend all my sci-fi lovers to go and watch Guilty Crown. Now, from what I remember, Guilty Crown is about a show where basically this new alien-type virus has taken over Japan, so they became quite barren just so they can fight off the virus. And basically this guy called Shu, I believe his name was. But anyway, he teams up with this beautiful girl and tries to fight off the virus, I believe. I honestly can't remember a lot about the show. It's been quite a while since I last saw it. So I can't exactly fully remember about it. Plus, I've seen other anime recently, so I can't fully remember about all anime. So I would still recommend watching it though if you're really into sci-fi. I remember I did really like watching Guilty Crown. Okay, this anime I would recommend watching for kids. This is the kids type anime. So if you know a kid that you want to maybe start getting them into anime, this would be the sort of anime they would watch. And if you're a kid watching my YouTube channel, why the hell are you watching my channel? I swear in like every single video. But regardless, the anime that I would recommend for kids is Pokemon. Pokemon is easily one of my favorite animes of all time. It is actually the first anime that I ever saw as a kid. I started watching it from when I was 6, I believe. But it is still a really, really good anime for kids. Like, I mean, I know some adults still watch it. I mean, they either watch it for jokes or so that way they don't look like idiots when they're making YouTube videos. But still, it is a really good show for kids. Plus, it's the #1 highest grossing media franchise in the entire world. And it's also got some really good games. So, if you're a kid, or if you know a kid, recommend Pokemon for them. Alright, now we're going to move on to the martial arts genre. Now, this is the sort of anime that you will watch if you would love martial arts. If you're a martial artist, or if you want to maybe get into martial arts, this is the sort of anime you would watch if you want to get into it. So, I would recommend for you guys easily the most famous martial arts anime of all time. In fact, I've got one of the posters hanging on my wall right now. See that? That's the show I'm talking about. Haven't guessed already? Alright, well, I recommend watching the Dragon Ball franchise. Dragon Ball's basically about this alien called Goku, who wants to become the world's strongest fighter in basically all of the entire universe and beyond the universes. So he tries to become the strongest and always tries to beat every single person that he can. He has lost very few times. He's definitely won more than he's lost. He is still a really, really powerful martial artist. And I adore the show. I mean, I used to hate it when I was younger. I don't remember why. But now I really, really like it. So I would highly recommend watching it. I would recommend start with the original Dragon Ball series, then move on to Dragon Ball Z Kai, so that way you don't have to watch any pointless filler, and then go on to Dragon Ball Super. After that, you can watch GT if you want. It's either way, just watch Dragon Ball. It's really good. The next genre we're going to be talking about is Isekai. And the anime that I'd recommend for you guys is No Game No Life. No Game No Life is basically about these two people who are basically brother and sister, and they get sucked into a world which is all a giant game. And basically they get stuck in the world just of gaming. It is actually a really, really good anime, and one that I would recommend you guys watching. The next anime genre I will recommend for you guys is School. Basically, it's an anime that takes place in a school. And the anime I would recommend to you guys is actually one of my favourite animes of all time. That being Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom is basically a show about an octopus-looking guy. Well, he looks like a fusion of an octopus and the smiley face emoji. But anyway, basically he blew up the moon and he wants to teach a class about assassination, and they have to kill him before graduation, otherwise the world's gonna blow up. It's a really, really good show, and one that I would recommend to everyone watching. It is an amazing show. Our next anime genre is Slice of Life. Now, this is the last anime that I have not seen, but I need to get round to. And I would recommend all of you who like slice of life anime giving The Disastrous Life of Saki Kei a watch. The show is basically about this guy called Saki who has incredible telekinetic powers, but he tries to live a normal life and he basically really hates his powers. But regardless, it is a really good show, so I've heard, and I definitely think the animation quality is really good. So, if you like slice of life anime, try giving The Disastrous Life of Saki Kei a watch. It's a really good show. The final genre I will be talking about is demons. Now this show is heavily revolved around demons. Demons, demon hunting, demon slaying, that sort of thing. And there's only one anime that I can think of for beginners to watch. That being Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is basically about this little guy who, is the son of Satan. And he wants to actually kick the shit out of Satan because Satan killed his adoptive father. And he basically trains to be an exorcist to try and beat Satan. It is a really good show for beginners. And I would definitely recommend anybody who hasn't seen anime or has only just gotten into anime, give Blue Exorcist a try because it is a great show for beginners. And there we go, guys. I am sorry if an anime that you thought of being in this list didn't make it into the list. However, there is a chance that an anime that you thought should have been in this list might even be in the veterans list. So if you want me to make an anime list for veterans, I may consider making it next week, but I've also got another video planned where I discuss who I think is the final member of the Sinister Six in the new Spider-Man movie. So let me know in the comments which video you'd rather see. Would you rather see an anime list for veterans, or would you rather hear me discuss who I think is the final member of the Sinister Six in the new Spider-Man movie? Please let me know in the comments, so that way I have a better idea of what you guys want to see. And also, a very special thank you for making this list to David. He helps me come up with some of the anime in this list. So be sure to go subscribe to his channel. The link is down in the description below. Did you enjoy this video as much as I did making it? If you did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Inferno, signing off. Bye!